Hello my PP, it's Mess Ataps. Welcome and welcome back to my cuisine. With today's edition, we will be watching how to make Cameroon Puff-puff. Please grab a seat, sit back and watch this cooking process to the end. Items that I will be using to make this puff-puff include, I have some sugar, yeast, some salt, all-purpose flour, which I'm going to be using 3.7 pounds, which is equivalent to 750 kilograms of the flour. I have warm water, which is going to help the yeast rise quicker. And lastly but not the least, I have vegetable oil to fry the puff-puff with. I'm going to go ahead and add 3 cups of water. This is pre-measured. I'm not a fan of sugar, so when I'm doing my pastries, I always like to use very little amount of sugar just to change the taste of the flour, because you know, toddlers definitely don't want to try something that is sweet. They all love sweets, we know that, but I try as much as I can to practice a healthy habit. So for the sake of this, I'm gonna be using just about 1 cup of sugar for every 1.5 pounds of flour, which is equivalent to 750 kilograms of flour. So I know how to measure that, so usually I go by the cup of my sugar container. About that much is equivalent to a cup. Then I mix everything together. Once as the yeast, the salt and the sugar are all mixed together, sometimes I give it a little taste to see if the sugar is a little bit sweet or not. Yeah, at this point, the sugar quantity is good for me. If you like your pastries to be very sweet, then you can go ahead and adjust the sugar to your taste. I transfer my 1.5 pounds of flour into the mixture in the bowl. Once as your flour content is in the water, then you continue to mix it with your hand. I like to use my hand and do this. Always good to start with a little amount of water so that you don't end up making too much of the puff-puff when you didn't want to. So you put a little bit of water, you mix it until if it is hard like it is right now, and you've not really got the nice texture of the puff-puff that you want, then you can go ahead and add some more water, and then you continue to mix until you get that nice thin stretchy texture. Right now it's hard. You can all see from the bowl, it's hard and not very stretchy yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and drip just a little bit again of water, just a little bit, which is not up to half of a cup, so not up to 100 cc's or 100 ml. And then you continue to mix again, and from time to time you keep dropping a little bit of water until again you get that nice thin and stretchy texture. Then you know your puff-puff is good to set it aside for it to rise. Okay, as we can see, it's gradually getting stretchy, so I still have to drop some more water to make sure I get that nice texture that I really want. It's not perfect yet, so I continue to drop a little more of water. Again, about half a cup. And then you go ahead again and mix. And remember, continue to use only warm water until you're done mixing the puff-puff and setting it aside for it to rise before you fry. I'm heading there. As you can see, I'm able to like paddle a little more easily right now than before. But at this point, it is not yet perfect. So I still have to adjust the water again until I really get that nice, thin and stretchy texture. I add a little more water again. About that much. At this time, it's not even up to half a cup. It's probably like 1/4 of a cup, which is 50 cc's. So, and then you mix it again. Now it's getting even lighter and lighter. When you are doing this, you can get the feeling from your pan. You get the feeling, and then you get it like it's easily loosened from your hand. It's not pulling your muscles so much. All right, at this point, I can say my flour looks great. It looks perfectly good. Yeah, it looks great. The mixture looks already okay like that. And then sometimes I even practice to like cut it and see if it drops well like that. Then I know I got a good mixture. So this is perfect. The first time usually is a challenge for many people, but the more you do it, the more you get the feeling from your hand when you're doing this, and the easier and the better you become at it. So this is good. So at this point, I usually put my lid on top of the bowl and set the puff-puff aside for it to rise. In the summertime, the puff-puff usually can be ready for me to start frying within 40 to 50 minutes because you know everywhere is humid. But in the winter time, it usually goes at least for an hour, 20 minutes for me to get a perfect rise before I start frying. So, and then put my lid over it and set it aside. Just like that, I set it aside on my table counter. I don't go to put it in the fridge. It stays right here on my table counter as I'll be ready to go ahead and just fry it in the oil. And for the sake of this video today, I give thumbs up to all my viewers around the world and to my lovely subscribers. And I greatly encourage every single person to please share the videos anytime you come across. Feel free to comment, feel free to share. You can clearly see the flour has risen for 1 hour now, but it's not complete. So I'm gonna wait for another 10 minutes for it to completely rise before I can start cutting them in balls. Meanwhile, I'm gonna turn on my oven and then start to heat the oil. Hello guys, the flour is perfectly risen right now, and for you to know that it's ready for you to start frying, you can get some smell around the house, like the smell of the heat. Usually when I know that it's remaining like 10 minutes for my flour to completely rise, I usually set up the oven and begin to preheat my oil. So it's actually 1 hour 20 minutes as I earlier said, because this is the winter season, everywhere is cold. And the flour is ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting them into balls and then dropping inside my hot oil. I'm gonna start cutting the flour right now into balls and then dipping it inside my hot oil. So you cut it like that. You beat it a little bit in the air to have a really nice smooth balls, and then you begin to cut it into your oil. And when I'm frying it also, I make sure that my balls are separate from one another they're not clustered together. And I also like to keep my heat on a 5. As I have my ball in the oil, then I also go ahead and from time to time you turn it, you flip the balls around so that every side gets cooked. Move the flour a little bit this way. I'm gonna move the camera so that you can. And from time to time you keep flipping the puff-puff around so that every sides get cooked and not getting burnt on one side. And for you to know that the puff-puff is ready, every side is going to look golden brown. Then you can then take it out of the oven and put it inside your baking dish for it to cool down before you enjoyed it. You keep turning until you get a very nice golden color. Then you take it out from the hot oil and set it aside for it to cool down. I feel like eating it already. Feel it crunching the puff-puff already. Puff-puff is usually very good in the winter season because it insulates the body when you eat this. Alright, usually I like it when it looks like this. I start removing it from the oil. And I don't like it when it's too brown, but just like this, to me, it's perfect. And then I dip my hand in water just to avoid it from getting sticky on my hands. And the process. Yes, baby. After every single time that you can put in fried oil, always place the lid right on top of the flour, because each time you do that, the flour continues to rise. Guys, see how the first set looks like? And you can tell it didn't only get cooked from the outside, but it also got cooked right inside. Mmm, so good. Mmm, nice for this cool weather. Mmm, yummy. The sugar, the salt, and it's just good enough. Mmm. Again, when it looks like this, you know it's ready to remove it from the hot oil. Perfect color. See? Perfect. Puff-puff is ready. Thank you again, my PP, for cooking with me again today. And until our next video, you be good, you be well. Bye.